When it comes to making mistakes, I am what you would consider the GOAT. GOAT standing for the greatest of all time. Now, that's a slight exaggeration, of course, but making mistakes has been part and parcel of my entrepreneurial journey up until today. So today, my friends, I want to share 5 mistakes I hope you all avoid when starting a business so you can do it bigger and better than myself. The first is one-man band. I couldn't quite think of a cool enough title for it, but being a one-man band or woman in a business is a dangerous game. Yet the ironic thing is when you start, you literally are one. Depending on your business, you can find yourself doing the marketing, the sales, the admin, the logistics to some extent, and it almost feels time consuming and in some areas not actually that productive. You see, we aren't going to be great at everything when it comes to business, and the sooner you can outsource tasks that either don't generate as much income as others or actually take you longer and actually cost you more in terms of your time and output, the better you will be, my friends. For example, we outsourced a couple of blogs for our Healthxcel business to some nutritionists. This was their bread and butter, and it was so much easier for them to write this down in a blog format than for me to perfect my writing skills, which ain't too great. Another example is we outsource the SEO side of the business. This again is something that you can do yourself, but again, spending hours learning about this when it could be spent on bringing in more customers and working in the business itself meant it just made sense to pass this on. So really have a think about where you are most useful in your business and where you could possibly outsource certain things. Next up, ignoring the power of social media, i.e. your brand. Now, brand is everything nowadays. As crazy as it is being called the anxious investor in the streets or by random people, it's also cool to be recognized for a particular thing. When you start a business, you want people to know what it can do. We know what Apple does, right? We also know what McDonald's does. We recognize their signs, we recognize their logos. We know exactly what we're going to get when we spend money with them. And that all kind of comes down to brand. So when writing your business plan and strategy, have a real deep think, my friends, about this and then how you will get this out on social media. I would also highly recommend yourself to get on all social media platforms. As you can see, I've done the same here myself, and try and keep your brand and message as consistent as possible, or at least your core values. And also from a sales perspective, if you hit your marketing right on socials, I promise you can earn some serious money. Next up, not researching your competitors enough. Now, this was something that we've done for years with Healthxcel. I knew my competitors way before we even started this business. Hey, I even used to use their own products, and it was the fact that I couldn't get access to their products often enough for an affordable price. It was when I decided to create our own, not just for us, but also for everyone else. So knowing about your competitors can help you distinguish what to do, what not to do, and also how you could separate yourself and have your own USP for your product or service. Plus, if they're doing well, there's almost a blueprint there for you to consider. So definitely do this, my friends, before setting up the company and getting registered. Speaking of getting registered, I'd like to welcome today's video sponsor, Awesome. Quick question, guys. How long do you think it'll take you to set up a business? Days, weeks, maybe even months? Well, actually, it's only going to take you 6 minutes if you use Awesome. And the best part of it is it only costs £12 too. Now, I know you may be a little bit dubious with those numbers there. £12 to set up a business in just 6 minutes? Well, you'll be happy to know that Awesome has actually helped 11,000 businesses do exactly that. And it's all been done hassle-free, because not only do they manage the business registration, they also help with the papers of incorporation too, whilst also getting you, my friends, approved with the best business bank. So if you want to move that hassle over to the experts where you have a human hand helping you on the other side and not worry about HMRC or company's house, then friends, you may want to check out Awesome. And there's a link in the description and in the comments below to get yourself that offer and get that business started. So next up, we have working with the wrong investors or partners. Now, it's always fun to travel an unknown road with friends, family, or acquaintances. Initially, with the hype and excitement around starting a business, talking about your goals, and while things are going great, it almost seems like a no-brainer to do it with someone else. But I'll just hold your horses there, my friends, before you jump into bed with someone when it comes down to business. People's priorities sadly change from time to time. People change with money. So please ensure you have your values aligned, your priorities set, all the do's and don'ts and commitments outlined, signed, and of course adhered to, which is harder than it sounds. Now, I was going to say finally, but I'm throwing in 2 bonus ones after this, so stick around for it. But number 5 is hiring too soon. Now, as much as I don't want you to be doing everything solo, as I mentioned earlier, timing when to hire people is crucial. Managing cash flow and ensuring you can continue to go another month is so important, my friends. And sometimes, at least in the early stages where you may not be making huge returns, you just have to suck it up and do a lot of things yourself, which you probably don't want to do. So please don't spend too much money money too early. Now, if you stuck around, I will throw up 2 more bonus tips for those of you serious about starting your business, because I really want you to succeed. First is don't undervalue your product. Giving away many freebies or cheap products could have people thinking it's a subpar product. And then the next one is not focusing on cash flow and profits. Cash flow is king in business. And if you don't manage this well enough, sadly, my friends, you will be out of business before you know it. So get your numbers right or get help with it as early as possible. And until next time, my friends, thanks for watching.